Students, we were reading the chapter 1 changing times of your book My English Reader. So I have given you some activities to do and I hope that you have done this. And we have here learned the meanings, learned the traits, the desirable and the undesirable traits. And now we will discuss this passage here. Let us now understand the contrasting points of view of the teenagers and of their parents. Read the dialogues between a counselor and a pranay and between the counselor and pranay's mother. So, this is a conversation between a counselor and a pranay. Pranay is a student or is a boy, and a counselor and the pranay's mother. So, what is the title of this conversation? Give me a break. Counselor speaks to pranay. So first of all, counselor is going to speak with pranay. So do you know who is counselor? What do you mean by counselor? Counselor is a person, who counsels you, who just suggests you how you should tackle your problems. Sometimes you really do not know what to do in some difficult situations. If you are facing a problem, it can be any problem, financial problem, emotional problem, any kind of problem, and you really do not know that how you are going to handle it in your life. So then we just move to the counselors, and counselors, they suggest us some ways, some ideas, some paths that we can follow and that we can realize, and or we can find solutions to our problems. Okay, so here now let's read. He was a lanky boy and taller than the other boys of his class 12th. He also had long hair, and the counselor wondered why his class teacher had not checked him for it. May I come in? He asked the doctor. Yes, please do. So he was a lanky boy. Lanky means he was very careless, he was very fashionable boy, and he is a taller boy in his class 12th. So he is in class 12th, Pranay is in class 12th, and he had very long hair. And the counselor was wondering that why his teachers had not asked him to cut them, why they have not checked on him, and why they have not asked him to cut them. And then he said that, may I come in? He asked the doctor. Counselors also, they are doctors, they are certified doctors. They know how to tackle those problems of people. There are so many of the problems. Some have their character problems, some have personality problems, some have financial issues. There are so many of issues out there. So she said, yes, please do. He came in and sat down with a heavy sigh. He said, my name is Pranay, ma'am. Could you please speak to my parents when they come for the parent-teacher meeting? So then they are so critical about everything that living at home is like hell. They are impossible. According to them, I don't do anything right. For God's sake, give me a break. I am a little kid. I do know how to conduct myself, and I know what to do and what not to do. But I have to be instructed all the time. Is this any way to live? What he says, when he enters and he just sat down with a heavy sigh. He just have a very heavy sigh. He breathes very heavily. He breathed very heavily, and he said that my name is Pranay, ma'am, and could you please speak to my parents when they would come to parent teacher meeting. So this counselor may be in schools. So sometimes schools also provide counselors. So this counselor may be in room, maybe at school, and Pranay really wants that counselor to speak to their parents. Why? Because they are so critical about him. Critical about judging him all the time, criticizing him for bad. They are criticizing him every time, and it is like hell to live in a house. So to live in a home is very difficult for him. He compared his home to hell. Why? Because his parents are always criticizing him, and they are impossible. He says they are impossible. What do you mean by impossible here? They are not understanding me, so they are impossible to tackle with. And according to that leaving them, I don't do anything right. And he says that according to my parents, I could not do anything right. I cannot do anything right. I do not do anything correct. For God's sake, give me a break. He said, for the sake of God, please give me a break. Give me a break means just leave me alone, or just hold for a second, just stop it everything. So he said that just give me a break. I am not a little kid. He says that I am not a little kid. I am not a small kid. After all, I am in 12th class, and I should not be conducted and I know how to conduct myself. Conduct matlab how to present myself, how to do things. So I know how to present myself, and I know that what I should do and what I should not to do. So I should not be instructed all the time. He said that, but they have to be they have to instruct me all the time. But I have to be instructed means that they have to instruct me all the time what I have to do and what not. Is this the way, any way to live? He said that, is this the way to live a happy life? Is this the way to live a life when everybody is instructing you, everybody is giving you instructions, what to do, what not to do, how to do, when to do? So he was very much fed up of his parents' behavior, according to him. Okay, according to him, he feels that his parents is always, giving instructions to him, criticizing him. And then what happened next? I can see that you are both upset and angry. Has this been affecting you since only recently? She asked. So what she said, that I know that you are upset and you are angry. You are both. Both means you are upset as well as angry. You are angry with your parents. You are very sad. And then she asked that, is this affecting you now, or is this happening for all the time? So she asked him that, is it happening now for some time, or is it happen for, or does it happen for all the time? That, is it happening for all the time? That do your parents behave like that all the time, or are they behaving from sometimes? She asked him. No ma'am, it has always been like that. He said, no ma'am, they are always like that. They are always criticizing me, they are always giving me instructions, they are all the time like that. It is just that during the last 1 year. But he said that it is just from the last one, since last year I have finding it unbearable. That I used to bear it all the time, I have no problem, but from the last year, since last year, it becomes unbearable for me, that I am not able to tolerate it anymore. It becomes intolerable for me now. What do they normally ask you to do, and what are the things they ask you not to do? Now a counselor asked him that, what are the things which your parents says that you should not do, and what are the things your parents want you to do? So she is asking the do's and don'ts of his parents. And then what he said, what do they normally ask? Okay, frankly, I'm stopped from doing anything I want to, and I am told to do everything I don't want to. So what he said that, frankly telling you, so they stopped me doing anything I wanted to do, but they wanted me to do everything which I really do not want to. So is that they always make me to do those things which I do not want to do, which I do not like, and they do not want me to do the things which I like. So this is happening here in his house. For example, I am supposed to study every day for long periods. I am not supposed to interact with friends except on weekends. So what is the first problem? He says that first problem is that they want me to study for long periods during whole week, and I am not I am not allowed to have interaction with my friends except on weekends. That I am allowed to have interactions or to have meetings with my friends only on weekends, and I am not allowed to go out with my friends on the rest of the days of week. So then what happened? They do not allow me to use the phone. I have my mobile and generally use that. It is only when my card is exhausted that I use the landline. So what he said again, he said that they do not allow me to use my landline, to use my phone. I have my mobile with him and I generally use it. I usually use it. I only use a landline while it is exhausted. Means that while its data is off, or while it is its validity is off, only then I use landline. Otherwise I have my own phone, but they do not allow me to use that one. Could it be that they are concerned about your board exams? She queried. Queried matlab she questioned. See, she questioned him. She inquired him that it can be because they are worried about your board exams. Obviously, he's in 12th class. 12th is a board class. So she suggested that it could be that because they are worried about your exams, they must be worried about your board exams. And what he said, I don't see why. I was okay in 10th class board examination. I got good percentage and the stream of my choice, he said. So he said that I don't see why they are so worried about my board exam, because I scored well in 10th class, my examination went well in 10th class, I got good percentage, and I got this the stream of my choice. Whatever I want to have in 11th and 12th, I had my stream because I got good percentage. So then what she said, why don't you explain things to them gently. So then counselor says that why you are not going to speak to them gently and explain your problems very gently, very politely to them. It is not necessary that you should talk rudely to them, you should talk violently to them. Just sit there, just have a nice conversation with them so that they could understand your problem. So then what he said, good God, there is no gentle talking in my house. Dad just yells at me. So he said that good God, it means that, oh my God, it never happens that we had a gentle talk in my house. We cannot talk gently in my house. Why? Because my dad always yells at me. Yells matlab shouts at me. So this is how the environment of his house it is according to Pranay. Pranay thinks that his parents is always forcing him to do which he really do not want to do. His parents always prohibiting him using phone, and they were very over conscious or overthinking about his exams. So read your chapter till here and read it very carefully.